Everybody, get to see my face again. um, so I have been stitching. I did get some stitching done. I will show that off in a later video. Um, yeah, it's sitting right here. I'll show it off. Why not? I started thread hanging off. I started the Backstreet Boys project that I showed you in not my last video, but the video before that. I got this is all the white in AJ's clothes, and I think I started the white on this is all the white in AJ's clothes, and then this right here is either um, either Brian or Nick. I can't tell. They are charted like almost exactly the same. I looked at it a little closer earlier today, and I think it goes. I think the way they did it is it's Kevin, Nick, AJ, Brian, and Howie. I think, but I'm not sure because Brian and Nick look so similar. The way she stitched them, they look almost exactly alike. So I'm not sure which is which, but I was so happy to get this started. I've been wanting to start it since I bought the pattern on Friday. And I was worried because my stitchy bug just like disappeared, but it came back with a vengeance like last night, or early this morning, last night. And I wanted to stitch on this, so I started it up, and I'm very happy I did because now I kind of want to start stitching on other things. I think I'm gonna do some more this week. I think I'm gonna try to do some more work on Diamond Magical Colors and Coffin Buzz. Definitely Coffin Buzz because I wanted that finished last week. I wanted that finished before September started, and that didn't happen. So, but today I think I'm gonna do some tags. It's been a while, a little bit since I've done a tag video, so that's where I'm headed. I've got 3 tags that I'm going to do. And I found all of these tags on Trisha the Left-Handed Stitcher's blog. I do still need to link, I think it's the last video where I mentioned, where I mentioned I was going to link that in the description box, and I never got around to doing it until I just found the link. So I'm going to put that in the description box for my last video. Not this video, but the last video. So, and that's where I got all of these. One of these is actually new. One of them just came out on the 28th of August, which is cool. But I'm going to start, I've got 3. I've got the Cross Stitch Wishlish Tag, the September Tag, and the Dreamworld Tag. And that one's, the Dreamworld Tag is the one that's trending. So, let's just get into, let me stop rambling and let's just get into it, starting with the Cross Stitch Wishlish Tag. Number 1, what are the top 3 patterns you dream of stitching? Well, one of them is kind of sort of what this is the one I'm stitching on right now. That was a huge dream of mine to do a Backstreet Boys pattern, and I was having a hard time coming up with one because the only thing I did chart one once, but it was going to be a pick-to-pat thing, so it was going to be full coverage, and this was 5 years ago. I wasn't ready for full coverage. I could probably rechart that one and stitch it now, but I don't know. So, other things I could say that are top patterns I want to stitch. I want to do a heaven and earth design. I want to do two-thirds of these are full coverage patterns. I want to do Cross Stitch Collectibles fractal pattern. Even though I'm looking at these going, I'm looking at some of them going. There's one in particular that I look at it and go, why would I pay $17 for this pattern or kit or whichever when I'm going? I know exactly how the image that they used. I know exactly how they did it. I've made fractals that look exactly like it, and could theoretically just make that whole pattern myself. I could redo that whole entire pattern and just make it myself. But there are other ones that I could not remake, that I don't know what program they used or how they did it. And so there are some cross stitch collectible fractal patterns that I want to do. So there's two. And the third one, I want to say a mirror, just to say that I did a mirror, even though my intentions, I'm going to do said mirror on Ada. Of course, because of course I am. I'm a glutton for punishment. So I'm going to be having to split the cloth to do the fractals, but I want to do a mirror. And hopefully I'll be doing one of those in October. For Stitch Mania's October sale, where I do Raven Queen. We're doing. So that's my top 3. And number 2, what do you want to start stitching in the next 6 months and 1 year? In the next 6 months, I want to do, again, start a mirror. I'm going to be starting Raven Queen for the Stitch Mania October sale. I want to start a head. I have 3 heads that I got that they gave away. They're 2 freebies, Ice Princess and Stitch's Retreat. And I got What's This when they were giving it away after the whole Cecil Lion thing happened. So I have 3 heads. I'm probably going to start, if I do a head, I know Cross Stitch and Discuss is doing a head stitch along soon-ish. I will do Ice Princess for that. So I'm probably going to start that for that. And Raven Queen for the Stitch Mania sale. I would like to get started on my nephew's picture that I turned into a pattern. That's another one. And these are all, actually, these are all within the next 6 months. Because I want, though I didn't do it, I want my my nephew's picture done by his first birthday in May? Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. When I get that one printed out, I have to go to either Office Max or FedEx office and get that printed out. That and my head, maybe next weekend, next payday weekend, depending on how expensive. Because I'm going to be printing them out in full color, especially my cousins or cousin. Why do you think cousin? My nephew's picture. The stitches are the pattern is full color. Colored symbols. So, I also want to get my best friend's wedding announcement started. That is probably going to be started relatively soon. I think as soon as I finish something. Hopefully Coffin Buzz. Hopefully Coffin Buzz. But as soon as I finish something, I'm going to start that one. That's going to be, I'm going to take Lovebirds by Daily Cross Stitch. I believe it's Lovebirds is what it's called. And just add their names and their wedding date on it. Because I downloaded a wedding announcement from DMC's page, but I didn't like it. And really, it's not them. The traditional wedding announcements would not be them. I could not see them putting that up in their house. But the Lovebirds, knowing how much my best friend loves birds. She owned birds when I first met her. When we were I was a sophomore in high school. She was a junior in high school when we met, and she owned birds. She had pet birds. So I know she would. This is something that she would she would appreciate more than a traditional bride and groom, because they're anything but traditional. So I think I'm going to get that as soon as I have a finish. The minute I have a finish, that's my next start, guaranteed. Within the next year, I would like to do another mirror. I would like to do something. I want to try to make the jump to even weave. I don't think I could. I don't think I could do the linen, but I could do even weave. Probably at 28 count. I want to stick something where I use hand-dyed fabric, either something I hand-dye myself, or something that I purchased from somebody else. I have all of the, I have to come up with some Christmas stuff for the December sale. In Stitch Mania, I think they do like a Winter Wonderland kind of thing, so I have to come up with something for that. I have all of the, I have 4 out of the 5 things. I have patterns for 4 out of the 5. I think I mentioned this in my last video for Stitch Mania's November sale. Friends, family, fun, fall, and food. The only one I'm missing is family. I don't know what I'm going to do for that. I've got an idea, but I don't know if I like it. So we'll see. I have to kind of play with it. Okay, that's pretty much it. There's the Cross Stitch Wishlish Tag. Now the next tag is the coincidentally, the perfect time for me to do this is the September tag. Because it is September. It's the beginning of September, but it's September. So that one, number 1. Do you have a favorite DMC color, and if so, what is it? Yeah, yes and no. I have a few. I have colors that I like. I really like pinks and purples. So I really like oh crap, what colors are they? Like the 3830s, I think is the set. They're like a plum, like a maroony purple, and the 550 series, the 550 line is like a bright purple, and pinks, all the 600s, the early 600, 601, 602, 603, etc., etc. So that's why I really like 4180. It's the variegated floss that I used in Sweethearts. It's made up of, I think, 603, 604, and 605. And I also really love bright turquoise, which is why I really love Diamond Magic of Colors, because it's predominantly 3844. Also features 3846, which I also used, if you remember, this is the text color for Coffin Buzz. And also, Diamond Magic of Colors also features 601. If you ever see me, if you ever find my nail polish blog or find my nail polish channel, and I do something about like my favorite colors, like what I have the most of, it'll probably be pinks, purples, and turquoises, because those are my favorite colors. So anything along those lines. So like the electric, like, oh god, the 990s. Also, I love all of those. Number 2. Do you stitch for Christmas/winter, and if so, have you started yet? I'd like to. I didn't used to, but I'd like to. um, I will be this year. I have not started yet because that's Stitch Mania's December sale. Um, I have um, so I have not started yet, and I won't be starting until December. Oh, and going back to the last tag, another one I want to start is Stardust Fairy, the DMC. So I just remembered that. When I was thinking about the 38s, the 38 like 30s or 38 40s or which no 38 30s because 38 40 were turquoises, whichever ones were like the plummy purple colors that I was talking about in the last question. Those are featured heavily in Stardust Fairy. So that's what made me think of it. Number three. Sorry, number three. Do you like to read, and if so, what are you reading at the moment? I do like to read, and I've been going off and on about reading. I have a few books that I have in the wings. One I'm reading right now is a book, sci-fi book. That's my favorite genre. It's my favorite genre is sci-fi. It's this book. I'm reading it in ebook format. I own the sequel to this book in paperback. I bought the sequel to this book in paperback, and then realized once I started reading that one first, and then I realized it was a sequel, and I was like, well, I don't want to have to try to find the paperback for this book because I don't know if I'm ever going to find it. Let me check Google Play. Maybe there's an ebook version, and lo and behold, there was an ebook version with like $5. That's how I buy everything on Google Play. I bill it to my cell phone bill. But it's this one. There we go. It's called Channeling Cleopatra by Elizabeth Ann Scarborough. I actually had never heard of her before reading this, before coming across this book. Or, well, not that book, the sequel, which is Cleopatra 7.2, and I do plan on reading that one as soon as once I'm finished with this one. And what I've gathered from the summaries of the book and I did start getting into the prologue of Cleopatra 7.2, which rehashes Channeling Cleopatra. So I theoretically could have read the second one without reading the first one, but I'm not that kind of reader. Is that the main characters in the book are reincarnations of obviously Cleopatra, and it shows off what that entails. And that's about all I've gathered so far. And in the second one, the back of the book says they're waiting for, there's two of them, and they're waiting for the reincarnations of Mark Antony. And that's pretty much all I've gathered so far. I haven't gotten far. I'm only into the acknowledgments of the first one and barely started it. But a couple other ones that I'm plan to look into at some point. I had to buy books because I needed a reason to use Plan Ahead. I FFO'd it. I'm going to use it. Is this book. It's called Like Father, Like Son, and it's about and I'd never heard of these. I usually hear about, it's a true crime novel about this father and son team, rapist and murderer team. The son was basically brainwashed to do the dad's bidding. He lured, it's very disturbing. He lured the girls in, and the son lured him in, and the dad raped and killed him. If you guys are interested in learning the story and don't want to or can't find the book, which I found this at Dollar Tree for $1. Hey, can't complain. If you can't find the book or don't want to look for the book and just want to do some research, do a Google search for Thomas and T.J. Soria. Those are the names of the perpetrators. So, it's an interesting one. That's probably going to be my paperback book for now, and Channeling Cleopatra is going to be my ebook because I like to have one of each. Anyway, moving on. Number 4. Lastly, share 3 random facts about yourself. Well, number 1, which I have mentioned, is my go-to random fact about myself, and that's that I'm left-handed. I am probably the most left-handed person you will ever meet. I could lose my right hand and still be relatively functional. I don't do hardly anything. This hand is useless. This hand is for getting good tape job on my nails, because I write with my left hand, I stitch with my left hand, I eat with my left hand, I throw with my left hand. I do everything left-handed. Everything. Fact number 2. And I mentioned this in the chaotic tag. I am total geek girl. Obviously. I mean, look at my channel name, the Cross Stitch Geek. I've always been that kind of nerdy, geeky, fangirly type person. That is, to be honest, what drew me to my ex. But he turned out that's another story. That's another story for another video. And fact 3. I can't think of anything interesting. We could talk about the fact that I took a Greyhound from Seattle to Tucson about 5 years ago. Yeah. Because I don't drive. I didn't drive at the time. I do now. I was very late when I didn't get my license a year ago. And now I drive all over the place. I didn't drive, and I refused to fly. I didn't start flying. I didn't get comfortable in a plane until my ex forced me onto a plane so I could fly back home after we moved to Colorado. So now I would just fly to Seattle and back. Be there in 2 hours. But 5 years ago, I was not getting on a plane. You couldn't get me on the plane to drag me on it. So I took a Greyhound. It took me like 3 days to get home. That was fun. Never again. So that was the September tag. And the last tag would be the Dreamworld tag. And this is the newest one. It was just posted on the 28th of August, so like last week. Yeah, last week-ish. Maybe before last. Maybe about a week and a half ago. I can't remember when the 28th was. What day of the week was that? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Anyway, the tag. Number 1, if you could stitch in any place in the world, where would it be? Wow. I would love to stitch in, I would love to stitch like on the beach. I mean, I could make that happen. I'm only an 8-hour drive away from California. I would love to. Tokyo would be another good one. London. It's pretty much. I want to see the world. Which totally counters with my fact that I want to have a kid by the time this time next year rolls around. Don't know if that'll happen. We'll see. So yeah, those totally counter, because you can't really travel the world, and well, you can, but it's harder to travel the world with a kid. But I would love to see the world before I die. So pretty much everywhere. I really want to go. An odd random. I would love to go to Helsinki, Finland. As I mentioned, the chaotic tag, the most prevalent part of my heritage, this part of my family that I know the most about, is my Finnish side. And I want to go to Finland and experience Finland in person. So that would be a good one. Number 2, what is your most interesting dream while sleeping, while awake? While sleeping, the one that I always think of that I remember most vividly, I was about 6 years old. And I had this dream where I was riding Splash Mountain. I lived in California at the time when we went to Disneyland. Like, that was like a regular thing for us. And I rode Splash Mountain with a bunch of like cartoon characters. I think they were like dressed like mascot-y. I don't remember. This was 23 years ago, but I remember that. While awake, I really just I daydream about having a family, having a not being single anymore. Even though I've only been single for 2.5 months, I miss not being single. I think it's the fact of being a 30 with kids and whatnot. Also having a lot of stitching done. A lot of stitching. Number 3. If you could design your own planet, what would it look like? Which element, animal, plant life of Earth would you take with you? Honestly, I would like I don't know. I'd like a planet. You're talking to someone who's a sci-fi person. I love sci-fi. And I also love The Sims. I don't know if I ever mentioned that. I love The Sims. And I love the concept of The Sims, at least in The Sims 2, which is my favorite installment of the series, by far. Where the males in that game can get abducted by aliens and come back pregnant with alien babies. Because of course they can. It's The Sims. And I would love to see a planet with aliens like the ones in The Sims. Who knows? That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I would, and I would honestly, I would take humans with me, humankind, because why not? You know, gotta have humans. Number 4. If you were told you would have your own cross stitch line one day, what would its theme be? The color scheme. I either have something similar to like Cloud's Factory or Pixel Power, where I design little characters based on musicians and TV shows and whatnot. Or I would do something along the lines of Cross Stitch Collectibles, where I would do fractals, because I'm really good at those. Or, though, because as you know, I do make my own patterns. I would also, if I could get better at it, I'd also like to offer a service where I convert people's photos to a pattern and, and edit it to where it looks actually decent. because right now I just run it through the software and let it do its thing. I kind of shrink it to size in Photoshop. I did mention I'd do a tutorial on that if anybody is interested in me doing a tutorial on that. I'd be more than happy to. Again, I can do both sprite conversion, like video game sprites, or I can do photo conversion, whichever one, or both. I don't mind doing both. Might probably make for a longer video, and that's fine with me. So that's that one. Number 5. If you could, would you design a new type of thread? What would it look like? Not necessarily a new, I don't know if it would be a new type of thread, but I have been jonesing for a Roy G. Biv variegated cotton. Because I'm not ready for silks. I'm just not. But I wouldn't mind an overdyed, a Roy G. Biv. Straight rainbow. I haven't found one yet. Because another pattern I want to do now, I'm thinking of all of these questions for number 1 and number 2. From all the way back from the first tag, the Cross Stitch Wishlish Tag. Now I'm thinking of more patterns for that one. I want to do a second round of brushstroke butterfly. I think I showed that one. I showed that one off in my first video, all the way back in my first video. But I want to do it entirely in rainbow variegated floss because I have a friend of mine who lost a baby 3 years ago. The girl was 2 months, 2 days shy of turning 6 months old, and she was at her babysitter's. No foul play or anything, nothing like that. And she succumbed to SIDS. She was napping at the babysitter's. Her aunt went to pick her up, and she wasn't breathing. She has since had another child who they call their rainbow baby. It's based on that whole after every storm there's a rainbow. So she has then that her daughter, her rainbow daughter, just turned 1. I went to her birthday probably about 2 weeks ago, and that was cool. And I want to do brushstroke butterfly because butterflies are their thing for the daughter that they lost. Butterflies were going to be her room theme. Anytime they see a butterfly, they feel that it's her coming to visit. And so I thought it would be cool to kind of combine the concept of butterfly for the child that they lost and the rainbow with the rainbow thread to represent their 1-year-old. So I've wanted to do brushstroke butterfly entirely in rainbow threads, and I haven't found a good rainbow variegated thread, either hand dyed or like DMC, Anchor, what have you. I haven't found it yet. I'm still looking though. If I find it, then we can do that pattern, hands down. I mean, we'll redo that one, hands down. So a rainbow variegated floss. That was a very long and emotional answer, just to say I want a Roy G. Biv rainbow variegated floss, but it is what it is. Number 6, final question. I'm looking at 35 minutes. Oh my god. This whole having a webcam thing, it lets me ramble. Number 6. If you knew you would live 100 more years, what would you stitch? Everything. You saw how many digital patterns I own. I'm at over 300. I'm almost at 350. I'd stitch them all. And I got more coming. I have a pattern coming from 123 Stitch. I'm buying another pattern with my next check. I'm buying the Hot Mama's You'll Always Be My Best Friend. It's You'll Always Be My Best Friend, You Know Too Much. Because that is me, my best friend. That is us. So everything. My entire collection. I think with 338 patterns, I'm at Sable. I'm clearly at Sable, I think. Plus everything that my mom is letting me borrow. And I pretty much have access to her entire stash, plus my own entire stash. I'm at Sable. So that was the Dreamworld tag. That was a really interesting tag, and that was fun. I'm loving the tags that are coming out lately. Carolina's tag was really fun to do, and then Chaos's tag was awesome. That was that's cool. This one was fantastic. I actually am going to subscribe to that Flosstube. I don't think I have them subscribed. I know I don't, because I would have known about this tag if I did. So I'm just going to go subscribe to the creator of the Dreamworld tag, because that's an awesome tag. I almost want to do my own tag, but I don't know what questions I do, because they're all the same. Or, I don't want to repeat questions, which is why I've been liking all of the tags that are coming out, because they're all unique. They're new questions. They're not like, how did you learn to stitch? What kind of fabric do you stitch on? How many finishes do you have? Those are over then. So I would like to write a tag, but I probably won't. What I do know is I think I am going to do a PC stitch tutorial, just because that seems like it'd be fun. And I think we have some people that would, I don't know, quote unquote, benefit from that kind of, I don't know benefit, but I would like to do it, because it's kind of cool. I don't know. I'll see. You know what? Let me pad out this video. I guess I don't have enough time for rambling. I guess I haven't rambled on long enough, apparently. Because now that I'm doing a video where you're seeing my face, I am going to show off my bead storage. It's not the best bead storage. This is a Doris container that I purchased at Walmart, thinking that I was going to be totally okay with 12 compartments, but if I'm going to be doing Raven Queen, I'm going to have to go buy another one of these, because I'm going to need to have a place to put my beads for Raven Queen. So this comes, this is a little case like this, and it comes with these little canisters, whatever. They have a twist off lid, and then there's the beads. The way I have it set up right now, I need to swap because they're in the wrong spot. The way I have it set up right now is from the top, these three right here are my Doris beads, the Doris Toho beads that I got for Butterflies Maham. So that's what these are for. These two are the same one because it just didn't fit in one. These are the silver, the bead landing beads. Bead, because I'm not picking up the beads. That I got for it's Nick Variations, so I'm gonna be using all these are gonna be used this month. And I'm also going to use these black ones on the Backstreet Boys pattern because I'm going to substitute the French knots in the words for the beads. I have two French knots. And my terrible French knots were part of the reason why I abandoned the summer sale. Then the rest of these last 6, are the ones I got in my Dollar Tree pack, just to have because they were $1. So I'm gonna have to get another one of those. I only have one space for one more color, and I know Raven Queen uses more than one bead. So, yeah. There's my bead storage. I don't know what the next video is gonna be. It might be my PC stitch tutorial. It might be whip progress. I do plan to do some more stitching. Probably not tonight, but I'm going to be doing some I'm going to do some work on Diamond Magical Colors. I'm going to be doing some work on Coffin Buzz. I'm going to be doing some more work on Black Supers. Some faces. I need to see their bright smiling faces. So yeah, there we go. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.